All right, here we go. Happy Tuesday afternoon, the day after the Bears lose 27-24 to the Vikings. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, trying to be the voice of reason when it comes to this football team. Appreciate everybody for hanging out, and I know I speak for Cullen as well. Round of applause for everyone who tuned in last night, hung out, chopped it up. It was tough, but we appreciate you guys for being there with us. And if nothing else, we can be in shambles together. So appreciate you guys being there. We do owe you guys a boot. Those are ready to go. We'll knock those down here in a sec. But Colin, we'll ask the people. Then I want to ask you, because you don't have the emotional, at least the same level of emotional investment as me in the fan base. Better, worse, same, just from a overall standpoint, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, first just want to say that, again, echoing your sentiments from how you opened, the fans, you guys showed up last night, and we just want to say thank you. You guys were awesome. Y'all crushed it. Thank you so much. Again, said it last night, I mean, y'all were awesome. So in terms of, how I'm feeling personally, I'm about the same, to be honest. Like, I just kind of feel about just where I was, which, again, you came in, leading into the game last night, we're all sitting there, and, it's the level of the unknown, right? You don't know what this new offense is going to look like with Ben Johnson, how this team is going to look like under Ben Johnson, and through the first drive and through a lot of that game, there were some positives. Of course, there's a few negatives, but, you kind of kept alluding to it as, we got through the course of the game, that they're letting them hang around. They're not really putting them away. Like, they just couldn't keep capitalizing opportunities, and, we all know how last night went. So, look, I'm not saying, last night was the end of the world, and I'm sure you're not either, but to be honest, like, there's just still improvement for this team, and, there is room for optimism, but that was definitely a flat way to start the 2025.
It's just a missed opportunity. I mean, Ben has said it's probably going to be bumpy early, but the way that game was playing out, you just have to put that team away. I mean, that's the disappointing part. If you win that game and Caleb played exactly the same way, you're still feeling a lot better. It's like, hey, man, like, there's still a lot of room to grow, but you still beat a quality team at home. The defense played well, so to let that one slip away is tough. And then, this is going to be a tough thing for the Bears to handle, because in that building, I'm sure they're balancing short-term versus long-term, the investment that has been placed in Caleb and him being the number one pick and what they've done this offseason. The fan base is already getting loud about how long do we wait until we go to Tyson Bagent. I mean, let's just do it right now, because I'm curious. I'll end that poll. I guarantee you, if you did a who should start, I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess it's between 50 and 60% Caleb and 40 and 50% Bagent on who should start. And listen, you guys are entitled to your opinion. I'm not even trying to get in a war about it, but the point I'm making is if this continues and we're not seeing progress, it's going to be interesting to see if the Bears preach patience and stay status quo, or would Ben Johnson pull the plug at some point. It's clearly we're not there yet. It is one game. But it's going to get loud. It is going to get loud. It already is. And 40 votes in, 61-39. So kind of about what I said. Like, I bet if you did that before kickoff last night, Colin, what is it, 85-15? I mean, there's going to be a few Bagent stands in there. But, you lose next week, that number's going to come down to closer to 50-50, I bet. So, they're not going to pull the plug a game or two in. But, you do wonder – how long is the leash? I think it's pretty long, but it's just frustrating when a lot of the same issues from last year popped up again last night. Now, I do think we saw some positives as well, but, man, there's just certain things that are tough to understand why it's not working.
I will say this, just before we kind of get into y'all super chats, which, again, we'll get to here in just a second. To me, Caleb wasn't the main takeaway from last night. To me, the main takeaway was the lack of whatever you want to call it, discipline, lack of awareness, penalties, whatever. And again, I understand some of those penalties. You've talked about it. I mean, the Darnell Wright one, that one's going to be kind of ringing all week in Bears, kind of media circles. Listen, the Bears were undisciplined last night in multiple facets of the game. And to me, like, that was the main takeaway that, they didn't look buttoned up going into week one. And through a guy like Ben Johnson, who is meticulous as he is, who talks about, the details and wanting to establish that and establish an offense about, being so much reliant on timing and execution and all this, that, and the other. The Bears were not ready last night for Ben Johnson's offense that they rolled out. Now, again, is that on Ben Johnson? Is it on the players? We can have that debate another day, but to me, then afterwards, that comes, the Caleb Williams and the offense's ability to respond to negative plays. Because, again, not everything, throughout the course of an NFL season, even for the best teams, is going to go perfect, but it's how you respond to those instances and how you respond to those, random just moments of adversity. So, to me, like, again, Caleb and Tyson Bagent, like, that whole argument, like, to me, like, that's not even the main takeaway, but I do hear your point that with Ben Johnson now at the helm, like, how long is the leash?
Yeah, and like, I'm not trying to create the debate. I just see that the fan base already is, and for me, it's kind of exhausting. But I also I can't completely just shut it down. I mean, like, listen, I said after last year, with the moves they've made and the coaching and the personnel additions, and sure, those guys have to play well also, and the O-line probably didn't play as well as expected. That's disappointing. Like, we have to judge Caleb more harshly this year. Like, that's just fair. Now, you can also understand that this is a complex offense that he's learning. It is early on. It's one game in. But, like, we can't – I'm not going to play the coaching sucks every week. Like, I don't think the coaching sucks. Even last night, sure, there were a couple things that popped up. But for a guy in his first game as a head coach, I don't think anything was that glaring. I think the kickoff thing was a mistake. He should have either just kicked it out of bounds or frankly, you just onside kick there. But, like, I don't look at that and be like, well, that's why Caleb played poorly. Like, those are completely two separate things. So, yeah, like, it has to get better. We're going to do a full Caleb Williams segment coming up, so stay tuned for that. But we'll roll through some super chats. We'll knock out this beer boot. Then we'll hop into the content here. Appreciate everybody supporting, just like last night. Dennis, if we're not 2-2 at the bye, Bagent needs a shot. I do think the bye week would be the first time that it would even be a possibility that they would consider a change. I feel like, though, Colin, you'd probably have to be 0-4, and it'd have to be pretty damn bad. Like, you're talking about, like, the bad from what we saw last night and, if not worse, the next 3 weeks. Like, even if it's just minor progress, if he plays a little bit better the next 3 weeks, I don't think they're then going to pull the plug a month in. So I think it would have to be DEFCON 9 for them to go to Bagent 4 weeks in. But I do think, like, anytime you talk about a QB battle, controversy, whatever, the bye week is always a natural time where if you are going to make a change, you've got extra time to prepare. I guess it's the first time it could happen, but I think you'd have to be talking about a just unbelievably bad stretch here for that to be the case.
Dennis also said being 0-4 and being bad is definitely a very strong possibility.
None of these games are gimmies. At Detroit, I know they played bad week one, but, like, did the way the Bears finished that game give you confidence to go on the road and win that game? I would say no. Dallas looks formidable, and the Raiders are improved. So you're not going to get these wins are earned in the NFL. So, you're not just going to be given to them. As Bears fans, we know that better than anyone. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the thing, too, is, like, I don't give Caleb, like, as bad as he was at times last night, I don't give him an F grade for last night's performance. So, from that standpoint alone, like, it would take a few F grade games, like a few really just, to your word, like, stinkers of games. And even then, like, you still, new coach, giving him some time to adjust this offense and everything. Yes, it's a possibility that it could go bad, but there was also points where it went well last night. And again, had that penalty with Darnell Wright. And again, I'm not going to play the what-if game too much here, but, like, in that instance, you have first and goal inside the red zone. I think it was at the 12-yard line. Like,
first 10 at the 12.
I mean, again,
if you punch that in, go up 24-6 to start the fourth, and you end up winning 24-13, 27-13, something like that, even with an uneven Caleb performance. Is there any freak out? No. So I do think we have to keep that in perspective. But at the same time, we do have to point out things that did not go well. Like just the random normal NFL throws, regardless of scheme, just flat out being missed. You're not going to hit every throw, but Caleb misses, like going back to last year, more throws than he should, and that wasn't really a thing coming out of college. That's what's concerning. We'll dive deeper into that, but Sebastian not validating the article entirely, but apparently the Bears discussed buying Caleb the same VR Jaden uses, but felt like he wouldn't use it. Is that not pretty damning about his work ethic? Well, that's like to me.
It's not a work ethic thing.
Well, that's like a organizational direction thing. Like, I don't think Jaden has the VR because he went to them and was like, hey, I'll just do this on my, like, that's part of the development that they're using with him. So, I can't speak to what happened there. If Ben Johnson wanted him to use VR, I think he'd be using VR. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's more like a procedural thing than a work ethic thing, in my opinion. Like, if they want him to, say, hey, use the VR, it's not because he's not working hard. It's like, hey, we're seeing something here. We want you to try this in order to change your process a little bit and maybe how you, view things. That's not.
And again, all the stuff from last year, guys. Like, I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not. It's just like I'm kind of tired of it. Like, he's got Ben now. He's got a lot of talent on this team. He's got to go out there and prove it now. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Tony, everyone polls first-round picks on the top 10 are at best third or even fourth best as their position in the draft just said. I'll actually push back. I think Darnell Wright might be the best tackle from that draft. He's been better, in my opinion, than Paris Johnson Jr. He's definitely been better than Peter Skoronski, who's playing guard in Tennessee now and not doing it that well. I know everybody's always going to be like, well, they probably should have taken Jalen Carter. Okay, like, could the Bears have handled Jalen Carter's immaturity issues? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But Darnell at his position's actually been pretty good, and he was your best offensive lineman last night, by the way, better than Joe Thuney. But I hear you. Like, I mean, you could say, well, what about Rome Odeyingbo? It's like, well, he was also the third receiver drafted in that draft. And I think Rome's going to be fine. I thought he was fine last night. So, but look, yeah, I mean, Poles he's been middle of the pack at best. Like, I'm not trying to glaze Poles. They're 15-37 since he's been the GM. So, like, clearly it has not gone good enough. I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but yeah, I hear you. First rounders, you need big time players. I'm more so concerned about how you're getting nothing out of like your middle round picks. Third round has been a complete whiff. Fourth round hasn't been much better. So yeah, I think that's almost a bigger concern, that at least your first round picks are like starters. Like third round picks are guys who should at least be high level contributors, and his first two third round picks are not on the team anymore, Colin, and the one from last year was inactive last night, Karan Amagaji. So, like, that's 0 for 3 so far. Maybe Karan becomes at least a decent backup, but he's your last backup right now. So, like, kind of hard to defend that.
Yeah. Listen, that's a big part of being a GM of an NFL team, is you got to be able to draft, evaluate, and develop, put talent in position to be developed. So, look, I totally agree with you too. Like, to me, like, again, and this is just this, I was thinking about this as we were doing kind of our post game last night. Again, second round draft picks, Luther Burden. Again, I know he kind of fell in your lap. Ozzie Trapillo, Shamar Turner. Like, none of them contributed last night.
Turner inactive. We know Trapillo's a backup at this point, and Burden caught a bubble screen and lost 3 yards.
Yeah, like,
so,
that's
had a nice kick return.
Yeah,
that was good to see. But.
And again, like, at least he's using some capacity, but it's just like that's second round. Like, I mean, third round picks are not even, on the team or active. Second round picks are not even get on the field. And you have first round guys that are just, so it's like a all compiling effect.
Yeah.
And, that's something that Poles has got to improve for sure.
Cody, at what point during the season, if the losses pile up, do you start to panic? Panic in terms of, like, this just being another, like, non-playoff season, or just that this is maybe Ben's not the guy or Caleb's not the guy? it depends what you're panicking about. I mean, if you're in the camp of missing the playoffs would be a disaster, then I think it's fair to already have concerns. Like, I think this team has to improve a lot. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Minnesota, but and look, maybe J.J. McCarthy will build off that fourth quarter and just have a fantastic season. If he plays like he did in the first three quarters, they're going to lose a lot of games. They are going to lose a lot of games. Now, my guess is with Kevin O'Connell and getting more reps, he will continue to improve, and they do have a good roster around him. But, like, most teams, Cullen, would have put them away, I feel like. Like, the Bears didn't play bad football in the first three quarters, but they kind of played just an okay game, and they let them hang around, which is why they lost in the end because Minnesota played a great fourth quarter. Like, if the Bears played a B first three quarters, they're probably up, 27-6 instead of 17-6 or whatever it was. I mean, they had several chances to put that game away.
Yeah, one of the things that, we'll kind of talk about throughout the show, that run game, like the fact that they just had an inconsistent running game, that's part of the reason what makes, I feel like, a team jumps up in tier, okay to a good team to a great team. Like, they just didn't have it.
Just having that to lean on. And listen, when did the Vikings start to get it going? They got Jordan Mason going on the ground. That seemed to get JJ comfortable because he could just turn, hand the ball off, let's get a few yards, wear him out, get some play action going, hit a couple completions. They had one drive where Swift got going, which was the drive that resulted in the missed field goal. But it's nice to be able to just, okay, quarterback's a little out of sync. Let's just hand it off a few times here. And they couldn't get enough positive yards to stick with the run game. So I think that's going to be an issue, Colin. If they can't run the ball, like half glass full, half glass empty on Caleb, whatever side you're on, I don't think anyone would disagree. Like, he's not in position to, like, carry the team. Like, this isn't Josh Allen. Like, you need to be able to run the football. So if they can't do that, like, that's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue.
Especially when you're trying to build Caleb's confidence, trying to get him to that level. Like you said, even in just one game last night, you saw with J.J. McCarthy, again, they just kind of kept, feeding the run game. Even when it wasn't going early, like, O'Connell realized, like, hey, if I keep, trying to run the rock, like, eventually Mason, Aaron Jones, like, those guys are going to, create some plays. And then J.J., again, just hit a couple throws, and you saw the confidence build. Compared to where he was, in the first quarter to the fourth quarter, he looked like a completely different player, at least body language-wise.
Yep.
So,
I mean, he only ended up throwing the ball 20 times. Like, O'Connell stayed patient with the run game, which I know for him was probably a challenge because he wants to throw the football, but – and look, maybe Ben's just got to be a little stubborn with it. Even if it's not working great, like keep running it. Like, just try to wear the defense down in the run game. Get Monangai some touches, man. I don't understand not running him. Like, if I had one big criticism of Ben Johnson last night, it's give Monangai a couple opportunities. Like, there's nothing wrong with giving him 3 to 5 carries in that game. Like, I did not understand that.
If he's not a big, Monangai fan, which, to each their own.
He has spoken highly of him.
Yeah, DJ Moore. Hey, get him involved in the backfield. Like, clearly Swift, again, they gave him enough carries to where they should have given him more, but, like, enough to where you kind of saw with Swift, he just didn't have it last night in terms of, like, the effectiveness. Mix it up.
Yep.
Mix it up.
With you. Tony, by the way, can we get a kicker that can kick the goddamn ball? I think Cairo's the guy for now, but I will say this. Both his kicks last night were not well struck. I mean, the first one was lucky to go in, so that's something to keep an eye on. I mean, look, we know what his weaknesses are. He doesn't have the biggest leg, but one thing he's been pretty steady about is he's a pretty accurate kicker. He kicks a straight ball. Neither of those were straight. Those were fade. That's like off the tee box if you're playing golf. Not a straight slice, but kind of a fade. Like, he did not hit a clean ball last night. So I don't know if that's a mechanical issue or what, but yeah, that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Anthony, I know they weren't great, but the O-line held their own against one of the best pass rushes, much improved. No doubt. I think there were the interior struggles were more than I would have expected. I think Dahlman, and we kind of know Dahlman's not going to be great in pass pro. If he can be average to above average with how effective he is in the run game and the ability to do the pre-snap stuff. Jonah Jackson had a rough go, but I thought both tackles were fine. Darnell was really good. Braxton held up. Nothing glaring stood out with his performance to me. Tooney's, Joe Tooney. So it's definitely better than last year. But they did have some breakdowns, so you're hoping for more there. Sish Lover, no running game. Kicker sucks. Penalties, 21 points in the fourth quarter. List of problems. Caleb is on top. This team needs to learn how to win. Yeah, I mean, look, like the 21 in the fourth, like some of that is on the offense, though, because they went 3 and out twice in the fourth quarter. And, like, by then, like, when your defense is on the field most of the fourth quarter, like, that's the end of the game. That's when fatigue starts to set in, especially in week 1, because, like, these guys don't play full preseason. So the offense has to do its part. And even if they don't score, you got to get a couple first downs, stay on the field, get the defense an extra blow. The defense is at the bottom of the list for me for why the game lost. Sure, like you gotta hold it firmer in the fourth quarter, but if you told me you got a pick 6 out of Nashawn Wright and you held them to 6 points in 3 quarters, to me the defense was good enough. The kicker thing, listen, their kicker made a 59-yarder, ours missed a 50. I mean, that's a difference in the game. Caleb's absolutely on the pie chart, those guys. Like I don't know.
I don't think the defense should be really at all.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say fourth quarter defense is 3% of the pie chart, okay. Like, I mean, I don't think it's a large chunk of the pie at all. 2, T Clutch. If Caleb couldn't win last night, he's not ready for the playoffs or Super Bowl. No excuse. Super Bowl talk. I mean, I feel like I've been pretty firm. I thought he was pretty bad last night, especially in the second half. Thought he did some good things in the first half and periodically throughout the game, but overall, not good enough. I think it was like a C- performance. It wasn't atrocious, but it certainly was not winning football. M. Gimp Show, week 4, why are we in week 4, are we in panic mode? I mean, if you're 0-4, season's basically over in terms of trying to make the playoffs. So, listen, I mean, you got to be, if you're in team make the playoffs, at worst, 1-3, but I mean, really, you probably got to find a way to get to 2-2. So, I'm just trying to see if they can go out there and compete against Detroit next week. Dennis, Detroit's a must-win considering how bad they looked. Take that with a grain of salt. Detroit is still loaded. Like, they have a better roster than Chicago. So, if you're expecting to go in there and win that game, like, I'll just look. I haven't even seen yet. My guess in the early point spread is Detroit -5, 5.5. That would be my guess.
I am seeing Bears
5.5.
Yep.
I mean, Vegas is expecting Detroit to play better, which I would as well. And if Chicago plays similarly, instead of being up most of the game, you're probably down most of the game. You're on the road. I mean, guys, you had 12 penalties at home. What's going to happen in a road environment? They have to clean that up, and they have to clean it up in a hurry. The game's in 5 days. Quick turnaround. Poles needs to stop looking at the person in personal life and draft talent. Yeah, I mean, look, like, character's important, especially early on, but, like, it's year 4 now. It's like you can take a risk every once in a while. I'm not saying, go crazy with it, but, like, it gets a little tiring when you do hear the person, the makeup, the character. It's like, yeah, that's awesome. You're 15-37. Like, do you have enough difference makers? So I'm with you. I'm not saying you start taking flyers on all the red flag character guys, but take a chance every once in a while. Tony, maybe he's just scarred from Chase Claypool. Hey, you mentioned not getting anything from middle round picks, drafting punters in the 4th. I'm with you. I mean, up to this point, Torrey Taylor, like, he's a good NFL punter. If you're going to make that move, though, he needs to be one of the best in the league immediately. That has not been the case. I think he was 11th in the NFL in a key stat last year. Again, good punter. Week 1, he did not have a good week. Net average of 44, and they gave up 17 a return. If your net average is sub 45, you shouldn't be giving up much on the return at all. So that tells me he kicked the ball short and not with a ton of hang time. So that's 4th round pick. I mean, he's got to be one of the best in the league. Sack boy. We drafted Loveland and Luther with our first 2 picks. They get 3 targets for 9 yards. Also, I'm panicking about Caleb's accuracy. That's my biggest concern with Caleb right now. And we're going to get to it. There's 3 things he has to improve on. 2 are understandable. They're like typical, college to NFL, just speeding things up, and especially now learning a new offense things. The accuracy thing, though, I can't explain it. I just do not understand it because it was not an issue in college. I don't get that one. The Colson Luther thing, it's 2 rookies in their first game. I'm not going to panic on that part of it, but yeah, we'll and we know with Luther right now he's the 4th receiver, so got to take that for what it's worth. Wasim. He says, FGB, I'm depressed. Here's the good news: if you can somehow beat Detroit, I think we all would have signed up for a split in the first 2 weeks. Can you find a way to beat Detroit? It's not gonna. No one said it's going to be easy. We'll find out. We'll find out what stones this team has. Avery really made me sad for the rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, it's 1 game, but don't give up yet. It's 1 game. It's 1 game. Let's see what happens. DJ and Wright, the only ones possibly hurt, right? Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Why is my freaking light on? Not seeing anything new on the injury front. First injury report comes out tomorrow, so the good news is that if there was something major, typically the national media gets a hold of that. So if we don't hear anything by like 5 or 6, like Deshaun Wright, season-ending injury or something like that, then hopefully it's something minor. That one did not look great, though.
No, it did not.
And that was a bummer for him, too, because
he played well.
Journeyman, he gets the pick 6. He's been a camp darling. I was hard on him. And then that happens. That sucks. I think DJ just kind of got his bell rung a couple times. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I would agree. Welke says Poles missing on picks is a major
No doubt.
issue.
I did a whole video saying you don't have enough blue chippers on this team. He's been a mediocre talent evaluator, I would say. Don't think it's been a disaster, but it has not been. When you tear the roster down to the studs, which he did, which I think was the right move based on this aging roster, dead cap money, yada, yada, when you rebuild back up, you got to hit a lot. And I don't think he's hit enough. You know who has it enough? Go look at the guy in Detroit. Brad Holmes, that guy has drafted a shit ton of good players.
Isaac Tesla seems to be the latest one.
Yeah, I mean, they took this Tesla kid, the 3rd round. Everybody was like, who the hell is that? I know Detroit looked bad in week 1. The guy had a one-handed touchdown in his first game. So, yeah. Peyton, I hope they can get the run game going. They're going to need to. They are going to need to. If they don't, it's I don't want to say it's going to be a long season, but it might be.
Let me see if I can somehow get this. Oh, there we go.
Cornelius, PFF, pass block grades. Yeah, I mean, that kind of checks out with me. We're going to do some PFF discussion. I thought Darnell was your best player in real time, and I thought Jonah was your worst. That checked out. It's always hard to evaluate O-line play like in real time when you're watching the game, but yeah, I thought Jonah Jackson really struggled, which is not great. He's coming off a not great year where he had some injuries as well. You need him to get back to what he was before last season. Ghost. Komet, 90 targets, 23, 55, and 24. Blackballed for no reason. No jet sweeps with Luther, Rome, or DJ. Caleb, no work ethic. Kick it out of bounds. Everything Ben has said about Caleb since he's been here, that the work ethic's been great. Last year is last year. Who knows what's fully true, what's not. Not excusing it, but just not going to dwell on it at this point. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, the Komet thing's well documented. Cullen and I still don't know why Shane Waldron didn't want to use him. This year, look, you drafted Colson Loveland. That's probably going to take away from Komet targets. So I still think he can and should be a part of the offense. Had that nice one-handed catch up the seam late in the game. He should absolutely get opportunities. But, yeah, and the jet sweep stuff, they did a lot of motion. I'm surprised they didn't do any of those jet sweep handoffs. So we'll see if they try to establish that next week.
Well, you're forgetting the second to last play of the game where DJ Moore just.
I mean, what was that? Not a microcosm of the whole game? Jesus Christ, Dennis. Caleb's confidence. He's accurate on script. When pressure comes and no script, he's inaccurate. Ben needs to figure it out quickly. I mean, yes and no. But like, there still are just individual plays where like pockets clean, base is set, throws inaccurate. Like the 4th and 3 throw to DJ, it's unexplainable to me, Cullen. The only way I can explain that one is he's just too amped up. He's like, oh my God, he's open. And he rifles it, and he just leads him by 3.5 yards. I'm just like, dude, just throw an 82-mile-an-hour fastball on his front hip, easy first down. Like, I don't get that miss.
I'd really like to, either for somebody, who's familiar with quarterback kind of technique and form, really look at Caleb Williams, like his last year at USC, his rookie year in Chicago under Shane Waldron, and then that first game against the Vikings. Like, to me, when you're showing signs of inaccuracy, and we were talking about this in the bullpen before we went live, Harry, that tends to not be an issue where you're accurate in college and then you come in the league and suddenly accuracy issues come about. Like, when you first enter something, obviously, the game's quicker, the windows are tighter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he didn't have the best supporting cast around him, whether it was Thomas Brown, Shane Waldron, whom have you, right? And now you're getting it with Ben Johnson. And I do believe it will get better over time. Is that a thing? I mean, we saw him adjust, how he, literally which foot he has backwards, for crying out loud. There are little things that he can maybe adjust. Is he thinking too much, or as you said,
I do think at times when I watch him play, I see a guy who's indecisive, and he said this. They asked him I think it was before OTAs. They were like, "Hey, what is something from last year that you're proud of or something?" And he was like, "That I only threw 6 interceptions." And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. He had that streak of not throwing picks. And yeah, you don't want to turn the ball over. But I'm also just like, dude, throw a pick every once in a while. It's okay to take some, rip the ball. And you know what happens a lot of the time is what we saw last night, down 10. He finally starts throwing the ball downfield. Sure, he missed the one to DJ, which is a bad miss, but he rips a couple. He rips the seam shot to Komet. And it's like, dude, we could be doing this sooner. This isn't the first time in the game guys are open in the second and third levels. So Ben has just got to get through to him and be like, look, you start throwing these second or third level balls or we're going to have an issue. Because,
Right.
if you just – and I'm glad that he's getting back to the check down because last year, that is one area that's grown. Last year in that game, how many sacks does he take? 6? I mean, I do think that has improved. He felt the pressure, got out to scramble a couple times, found the check down a lot. That is a sign of growth to me, but it's almost like he got back to the check down too fast a few times. It's hang in there a half second longer and deliver one of those second level throws every once in a while. It's not like there weren't any available. I've a little teaser too. We got a couple screenshots. We can't show the all 22 film, the video, but I got a couple screenshots where you're just if he just waits a tick longer, a guy's going to be open for a chunk gain. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you could already see kind of just the noticeable ways that Ben Johnson's getting creative. I thought, again, this was kind of towards the end of the game where, you're just hoping to, try to mount a late comeback. I thought the throw to Rome Odeyingbo, that was a beautiful design scheme by Ben Johnson in order to, kind of fake the direction going one way. Rome kind of sneaks to the back of the end zone. Caleb finds him. Caleb's just got to trust it.
Yeah. Got
to trust the offense. And, look, I mean, obviously that's, one play and everything, and we'll kind of talk more about his performance. But, yeah, I think I'm with you. I think he needs to let him, be loose a little bit.
I would be thrilled is the wrong word, but if he went out there and threw 3 picks this week, I'd almost be happy. I'd be okay, you probably let it rip then. And you see there was good stuff from this game on the film. They motion DJ from right to left. He does a play action. The footwork is good. Hits the back foot, hitch, throw, far hash, 30-yard throw on a fucking rope right to the sideline to DJ Moore for about 20, 25 yards. It's not that's what almost makes this frustrating. This isn't some Zach Wilson situation where it's just okay, this guy's got nothing. No, you see it in there, but then you're oh, clean pocket, 4th and 3, missile 6 feet in front of the guy. It's what? That's not even close. So I need consistency, man. No one's asking for perfection, but it's got to be better. Avery, where the hell was Montez Sweat? I thought he had a TFL. He had that nice pass breakup where he was in JJ's face in the bootleg and knocked it away. Not going to act like he was great, but I don't think he was invisible either. He did have the tougher matchup against O'Neal. Odeyingbo was going up against School. Good to see Odeyingbo play well. But, yeah, I would say this. You're still needing Montez to pop a little bit more, but I don't think it was like a no-show by any means. Roast beef, you're the GM. What would you do moving forward if Caleb doesn't work out? Define moving forward. Like we get to the end of the season and it's like there's no improvement. It's kind of like what we saw Monday all year where there's some good, some bad, and there's just no, from start of the season to the end, there's no growth. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, do you do a competition next year? Do you consider trading him? Do you give him a third year? I don't know. I mean, I'm very much in a week-to-week mode right now. Like, I'm still patient with it overall, but I can't even think about 2026 if that's where your guys' mind is at. It's just so hard to project. Like, what's the context of it? Was there small improvement but not a lot? Like, is that enough to run it back next year? Oh, yeah, trade for Shador in the chat. How many different quarterbacks will be brought up in the chat today?
We're going to get a few. I've been peeking, at the chat as we've been talking. We've gotten a few.
Okay, David, not a fan of throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage on fourth down or kicking deep at the end of the game. Well, they never threw behind the line of scrimmage on fourth down unless I'm misremembering. They went for the one fourth down, and it was DJ on kind of like the skinny post slant, whatever you want to call it, and Caleb was too amped up and missed the throw. I think they threw a receiver screen on a third down.
Yes.
That got blown up.
Yep.
And fair, like I'm not a huge fan of that either. So I'll back you on that, but there's no fourth down where they threw short of the sticks. James, all game I thought Ben's favorite word, details. 12 penalties, inaccuracy from Caleb. It all feels fixable through details that Ben won't let slide. I mean, look, he's detail-oriented. You would expect the penalty stuff to improve. I guess that's my question, Colin. Is inaccuracy, is that detail-oriented?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that just missing throws? I'm sure there's certainly details involved, like the footwork, what type of throw are you making? Does it require a fastball? Is it more of a layered throw? I don't know. Details definitely play a role, but like, again, some of these throws you're just like, I can't explain how you missed it by that much. Cornelius, who you got? Crawford, Canelo. I'm so out of the loop on boxing. Like, do you know who's favored in this? Canelo? Is he like a big favorite or
minus 175?
So did he have to shed weight for this fight? Because Crawford is more of a welterweight, right? He's the guy who beat the Dallas kid,
yeah,
right?
Canelo's a middleweight. So, Crawford's moving up to weight classes to challenge.
Oh, so Crawford is adding weight?
I think
that seems like a recipe for disaster for him.
Yeah, no, I think I'm rolling with Canelo. To me, he's the best boxer alive with respect to Crawford, but Canelo to me is especially on a different level. And now that Crawford's having to come up, like,
I wish we could have seen Spence Crawford before Spence was in the car accident.
Right.
Because I just don't think he's the same.
No.
That's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
Dallas Hive, stand up. Jason, how the F do 34% of people want to start Bajan? Because Bears fans are obsessed with the backup quarterback, but also they're frustrated. People are frustrated. And the quarterback's always the easiest person to blame. So, to be clear, I'm not in that 34%, not at this point. I don't think I would get there until at least the bye week. That would be the earliest I would consider that. But I'm open to my mind changing. Listen, I will put this way. I am Team Bears having success over Team Caleb. If Caleb's not the guy, he's not the guy. So be it. No one loved the Justin Fields pick more than me. It became clear over time he wasn't the guy, despite a few of y'all saying he should still be here, despite him being on not one, but two different teams since the Bears traded him. But, and again, rooting for him. If Mitch got a chance to start somewhere, I'd root for him too, but that's not going to happen because he's terrible. Talking about Mitch. I actually don't think Justin's terrible. I think he's a serviceable starter.
We got a Jay Cutler reference last night. I mean, everything.
I think that one's kind of, that's more like funny.
Right, but yes, I mean, the fact that, like, that was even in position to be.
I mean, the Trubisky stuff's embarrassing. Did you guys not watch him
Yeah.
And just in a normal preseason game, he couldn't complete a pass.
No.
It was so bad.
It was ridiculous.
All right, you want to do this?
Yep.
Beer boots. Rome wasn't enough. That was a bad omen. I said, is this going to be a good or I don't know if this is a good or a bad omen.
Do we do the Caleb in order to flip the script?
Jalen Carter,
Yeah,
but already, sir. They're saying since he missed the whole game. Yep. I'm fine with that, to be clear. Look, people saying like Dak initiated it, I will push back on that. But had that happened in the second half, you have to give him a game. But he already missed a game. I'm fine with him just serving or getting fined.
I'll just voice my two thoughts. If we're out just in public, which first of all, you should never spit at or near or on anybody. But if I walk up to you or any self-respecting person and I spit in your general direction, I'm not saying the response should be to spit on somebody, but you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Like to me, like that's the only thing that I'll say about that.
The only thing I wonder is because Carter after the game was, you would have thought he would have stood up for himself. He was like, "Yeah, that was a horrible decision on my part."
I would, to be honest. I mean, I understand that because like you're probably feeling the embarrassment of realizing like, hey, what I just did. Because I mean, even though Jalen Carter's had character concerns, I would assume that even he like after some moments of reflection maybe thought, hey, listen, like was it bad what Dak did, but also I'm the one who spit on him.
Sure.
And like he maybe saw the social media stuff that was going around. So each their own. I mean, I think all in all, it's
the fact that he missed the whole game.
Like that's fair.
I think that's a one-game deal regardless, since it was on the first play of the game. I'm fine with it. All right. Well, cheers.
So are we doing this straight up, or what?
You want to give me 15?
We'll go 15.
All right. Let's see if I can bounce back today.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi. There you go.
All right. Got you that time.
You are getting quicker.
All right. I'll take it.
Next up, we'll have to do the a Yak 14. See if you can get me then. I think you passed the Rome test.
Say what? Oh, the Yakias?
Yeah. We have to do 14. Ugh. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sorry, overflowed it. I mean, with the mic stuff, obviously.
Sperry just sent me something. Philipponi.
All
right.
Do you want to bring, or do you want to just hit straight into the?
Let's just hop in. Let's
Gotcha.
hit that like button to help us out, and let's hop into the content here. We appreciate all 584 people watching. Coming up here on today's show, where Caleb Williams must improve. And this isn't just a reaction to last night. This is in general. Take your questions. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Still absorbing that boot. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. And then some Week 1 PFF grades reaction. So we will get to that as well.
Yep.
Something just come in.
Yeah, Bum of Wall Street. We'll get his Super Chat quickly up on screen.
Oh, Jesus.
I just, well, okay, so, yeah.
If you're going to say that, at least pick a quarterback that's looked good in college.
I just had to
honest question.
I just had to throw it.
Honest question.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't play another down in college and entered the draft, would he get drafted? I think the answer is yes, because his last name's Manning, and there are some things to work with there. But he has not looked like an NFL quarterback through 2 games this year.
No, I do think he looked better against, obviously, San Jose State, albeit. But, yeah, it's
not like he lit him up, though. I mean,
no, he did.
He went from horrible to, like, it was solid.
To be honest, like, he still kind of feels more of an athlete than a quarterback to me a little bit.
I don't like
And, like,
his,
he's not even that great of an athlete.
I don't like I think he's a pretty good athlete. I don't like his throwing motion.
As an NFL athlete translating. Do you
Yeah.
think he's,
Probably a 4.6 guy.
Yeah.
Good, not great speed.
yeah. Like to me, he's more of a long runner too. Like doesn't have like the necessary burst, but just can move a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk some ball. Where Caleb needs to improve. Let's get to it. Caleb Williams has 3 key areas in which he must improve if he wants to be the Bears' longtime answer and franchise quarterback. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We are going to get into that. And no, this is not just a response to week 1 against Minnesota. This is just look through 18 games and things that are there. He has to improve in these 3 areas. We will talk about it. And I want to hear from you guys off the top. Do you believe in Caleb? Do you still believe he can be the guy? Because I still do. I am not jumping off the train. There are things that have to get ironed out, and if they don't, then he won't be the guy. But I'm not bailing after one start with Ben Johnson, but I'll admit I'm a little concerned after last night. Type B for believe, D for don't. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Okay, number 1, and this is really my biggest concern right now. Just the overall accuracy. And the reason it's my biggest concern is because this was not an issue coming out of USC. In week 1, he was tied with, guess who? Bryce Young, the guy who Carolina drafted when they traded with the Panthers for the worst completion percentage over expected at negative 13.2%. And basically that's just an advanced stat that is based on, okay, the throws he chose to make and whether he should complete those passes or not. And if you're in the negatives, it means you completed less passes on the attempts you made than you should have. Negative 13.2% is bad. It's just not good. It means he missed a lot of throws. And these are just a few that stood out to me. The 4th and 3 early in the game. I don't know if he's just over revved up, if he's just amped up, or what, but that's a pretty basic throw. DJ Moore on kind of like a deep slant, kind of like a skinny post almost, but that you throw early. Just a little up, breaks open, throws an absolute missile. And I patented the Caleb Williams piss missile. I love me a good Caleb piss missile. That one just needs to be an 81-mile-an-hour fastball on the front hip, move the chains, next play. He threw it 3.5 yards in front of him at 600 miles per hour. That's just clean pocket, back hit, back foot, throw, not even close. Don't understand that miss. He overthrew DJ Moore deep with 2.5 minutes left. Wide open. And on that one, it doesn't require a specific throw. He could throw it on the line. He could put it with air. He threw it on the line and with air out of bounds. Not close. Overthrows Zacchaeus on a scramble drill. Now, that was a tougher throw. Zacchaeus full extension kind of tipped off his fingertips. It wasn't holding, so it came back anyway. But it's like, that's a throw I think he can make. Multiple misses underneath. He had to throw to Komet in the flat in the 4th quarter, I think. That was 4 yards over his head. He skipped the ball to Zacchaeus at one point. You're just like, dude, like he's missing throws at all 3 levels, underneath, intermediate, deep, which of course was the theme last year. I don't understand it. I don't understand the volume of missed throws because to me, that's not really scheme. That's not learning the offense. When you just miss a throw, especially on the ones where in the pocket, the 4th and 3 more than anyone to me, it's like, okay, that's a 3-step drop, back foot throw, not close. Why? I would love to ask like a QB coach that question. Why did he miss that throw by that much? Is his base not what it needs to be? Because to me, the base looks fine. Is it the type of, like, I can't explain that one. Eyes are in the right spot, right decision, footwork seemed fine, back foot throw, off target. Do not get it whatsoever. Now, the overthrows, especially on the deep ball, have been glaring since he entered the NFL. He's got 52 overthrows since week 1 of last year. That is 17 more than anybody else. Like, that, you're not even in the ballpark with the rest of these guys. And look, to me, this is a clean slate this year for Caleb. Last year is last year. Ben Johnson said it himself. There's not much we're taking from last year with what Caleb did. We're starting fresh this year. I'm cool with that. But when you see some of the similar things in week 1 in this new year that popped up last year, it's like, Okay, we saw that last year. We're cool it's a new era, Ben Johnson, all new players, all that stuff, but like kind of the same mistakes in some regards. So, and again, the accuracy, this is why it's my biggest issue. The things coming out of college where you're like, okay, if he doesn't work, why? Accuracy was not on that list. He was a very accurate thrower of the football at USC at all three levels, short, intermediate, deep. And in the NFL, the accuracy has just not been there. And a lot of his misses are way off. Like, that was my concern with Drake May at North Carolina. It's like, I like him. He's big, strong, big arm, can move, but his misses are way off and can lead to turnovers. That was not an issue with Caleb coming out of USC, but it's been an issue in the NFL. And I don't know how to explain that. I don't know what you do to fix that part of it, because the other stuff we're going to get to, like, to me, that's more like the processing, learning the offense, going through the progressions. That's tough for all quarterbacks coming from college to the NFL, and especially Caleb coming from an air raid offense where he could just ad-lib all the time. Like, that was an area you knew could be a challenge. The accuracy, though, I just do not get it. Okay, number 2, turning down throws. This was the thing with Justin Fields. Now, I think Caleb's a better thrower of the football than Justin. I'm not trying to make a comparison, but just to kind of relate it to the last quarterback, what that means is, like, guy is open and he's either not seeing it or he's turning it down for some reason. There were opportunities. I watched a lot of the All-22 from last night. I'd say 3/4 of the throws. And there's a handful of times where it's like, if he either waits a half tick longer, not even a half tick, like a 1/10 of a second longer, or he just doesn't choose to throw it for whatever reason, and you're just like, why did he not throw that ball? Or why didn't he just wait just that much longer? Why did he get to that next read so quickly? We'll talk about that here in just a second, because a couple of plays stand out in general on what I view as missed opportunities from Caleb in this game. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, and that, of course, is Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app. Is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Football is back and better than ever, and I am firing off Prize Picks lineups every single week. It's very easy to play Prize Picks, as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money on certain lineups. Prize Picks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. For week 2, Prize Picks is offering a max discount on Travis Kelce of more than half a receiving yard. I've paired that with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the Commanders running back, who had a great week 1, more than 41.5 rushing yards, $20 lineup to win $60. Of note, max discount plays, usually there's 1 or 2 a week. You can only use them once per account, right? Like, if your buddy has one, he could do it too, but you can't use that Travis Kelce play on like 10 different lineups. You can use it one time, so take that for note. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in the lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in the lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Okay, couple of screenshots from the film here. This was a play, can't remember exactly when these plays were. I think this was in the second quarter. So Caleb is looking to kind of a classic high-low situation here, right? DJ Moore, who's just past the 50-yard line, if you're looking in the bottom, slightly to the right part of the screen, past midfield. Caleb is looking in that direction. It's kind of a deep corner route. It is breaking open right there. Okay, he could throw that ball right now to the sideline, right at about the 45-yard line. If he throws that, layers it properly, that's going to be a catch by DJ Moore, or I guess he could drop it, but that's DJ's play to make. That's NFL open. He could also just throw underneath the Zacchaeus there. If he rips the fastball, sure, Zacchaeus is going to get tackled from behind, but that's going to be a 6-7-yard completion. Get to the next play. Literally, I'm not even joking, like a 1/10 of a second later, look, DJ hasn't even moved that far off. Caleb's eyes move back to the center of the field. It's like, why? Both Zacchaeus and Moore are, you could take either one. Again, let's go back to the last one. You go back to the last one here, you could throw either of those if you want to. And then a 1/10 of a second later, he's back to the middle of the field, and this is the one where he steps up and he throws the sidearm ball to Colston Loveland, and it was completed, and you got 6 or 7 yards, but I'm just like, to me, that's not what the process Ben Johnson wants, I can imagine. High-low read, 2 players open. If you want to take the chunk play, if you throw a good ball, it's there. If you want to throw underneath to Zacchaeus, it's there as well. Doesn't throw either. Makes a play, and that's the ability of Caleb keeping a play alive, and you like that part of it, and Loveland makes a play, but it's kind of unnecessary, is the point I'm trying to make, and I guarantee you that's being discussed in the film room today. Okay, another play later today. Look where Caleb's eyes are, and he's kind of behind the goalpost in the pocket there. Braxton Jones gets a backside seal there, so it's not like Caleb was about to get hit or anything. Colston Loveland is covered up by that linebacker, right? It's kind of just middle of the field hitch, and based on this, you're like, if you're Caleb, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm just going to move off of this. But again, a tenth, not even a quarter of a second later, Loveland kind of gives the linebacker a shimmy and goes to an open area. Look at that. He's open. Throw it. But he's already moved off it. Caleb's not looking over there. He comes back underneath, throws to Kmet, incomplete. And listen, it's easy for me and these film nerds on Twitter to be like, what are you doing? That's bad QB play. But it's like, man, the pocket's clean. Give Kmet just another, boom, one more hitch. If he doesn't go to the soft spot, come back down to the check down. It almost just felt like on numerous plays last night, he just rushed through reads a little bit. Now, the good news is I do think he's getting to some different progressions, but is he going through them too quickly? Is he skipping some to get back to the check down? Again, I do want to be clear. I don't know what the plays are calling for. I don't know the progressions. It's always a guessing game on the outside. But his eyes are there, and then they move, and right as he moves, the guy comes open. It's just frustrating. Was that just unlucky last night? I don't know. So take all that with a grain of salt, but those are just 2 examples of plays that the first one, his eyes are in the right spot, and he can throw the ball. The second one, his eyes move off right as the play is going open where the initial read is. 2 plays that could have resulted in 20-plus yard chunks. So missed opportunities. There was probably 5-6 examples of more that could have taken advantage of. There was one where he stepped up in the pocket after evading a sack, could have thrown like a 10, 12-yard pass to DJ, instead scrambles. It's like, I appreciate he could scramble, but like you could also just throw it to your $28 million receiver as well. So, it's one game, but some of the same issues popping up from last year. All right, help us out. We crossed 129,000 subscribers. Round of applause to the real ones here on Bears Now. We are on the road to 130,000. That is awesome. You guys are truly goated. Colin and I are humbled by your support, so appreciate it very, very much. If you want free and daily Bears content, also let me know if you want some more all 22 kind of elements into the show. Again, we can't show the video, otherwise the video gets demonetized, but we can do the screenshot stuff, and who knows, maybe I'll do some video stuff on Twitter or something like that. All right, lastly, just holding the ball too long. That kind of comes back to turning down throws too. That leads into holding the ball too long. So those are kind of tied together. In week 1, second most time to throw in the NFL, 3.39 seconds. Now, only got sacked twice, escaped a lot of other ones, and there were some pressures, but it's like when your average time is over 3 seconds, almost 3.5, it's like, to me, that's good enough pass protection. Not perfect. I think there were some mistakes by the O-line, but like the O-line's improved. Whether it's elite, whether it's good, it's not bad. It's not going to be a joke of a unit like it was last year. Like, just get the ball out. We saw signs in the preseason of this being better. Against the Bills, it was like 2.6. Against the Chiefs, it was 2.8. He's never going to be Jared Goff or Tua, where he's one of the quickest in the league because those guys can't move and they have to play on structure 100% of the time. He's got to be sub-3, though, when you average it all out. 3.39 is just too high, man. And listen, part of his game is keeping plays alive, and you like that part of the game, but there's just too much of that. Too much of that last night, especially in the second half. It seemed like Flores confused him. And listen, that's part of the equation, too. Brian Flores is a hell of a defensive coordinator who gives a lot of disguised looks and can confuse quarterbacks. I'm not sitting here acting like it's easy, but we just outlined a couple of plays visually that opportunities are there to be made. He is paid to make those plays. So just need more consistency, and just Colin said it before this segment. Just trust it. Just let it rip. Like, it's there. Just throw it. We'll see if he can do better against Detroit in week 2. What is your biggest concern with Caleb Williams at this point in time? Again, it's one game in. We're not ringing alarm bells, but it's fair to be critical, and that's what we're going to do on this show. You let me know what your biggest concern is. Everyone calm down. Let's take a deep breath. It's one game in a new offense. It's not like it was all bad. There was some good in there. But when similar issues are popping up, when you see some things that were there last year, it's fair to point out. It's fair to be critical. I told you guys I would be more critical this year on the quarterback. He's the number 1 pick. Like, he needs to be better than what he is right now. So I still think he can get there. I'm still hopeful he can get there. But we got to start seeing tangible progress, and hopefully that starts this week in Detroit. All right, that's going to do it for this segment here on Chicago Bears Now. If you want more Bears content on the reg, like we said, hit that subscribe button. It is 100% free. We're here every day. Bear down.
Oh, man. Good stuff there. I would personally like to see some more All-22 content.
I wish we could show video. It's just can't.
Right.
But I think on some of these screenshots, though, it's just I'm not an expert. Like, I think I know football very well, but, like, I haven't coached in the league. I haven't played in the league. I don't know what specific plays are calling for in terms of the progressions. But there are certain things that, like, the average football fan could be like, why didn't he throw that?
Yeah.
So
I also think, like, you could be dropped into a meeting. Like, say the Bears are having just a meeting between all, like, the offensive minds, like Ben Johnson, Doyle, Caleb, and everything. And you just listen the entire time. You would understand what they're saying. You may just not know some terminology in terms of, like, what it means in terms of, like, play calling and whatnot. But, you know, to each their own. To each their own.
Oh, man.
But, yeah. All right, grabbing this.
It's a funny tweet I just saw.
Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We are doing a mailbag here next. We have gotten one from Los. This will only work if we have a running game. The defense is a 2-headed monster. We have a half puppy. Bears brass knows this. We won't truly see Caleb.
This will only work. D. What is D? 2-headed monster.
The defense, I'm assuming.
We have a 0.5 puppy. Won't really. I don't know what you're fully saying there. If you can clarify in the chat, let us know. JD, offense wasn't great, yes, but that pass interference on 3rd down. Sept changed the game. Touchdown the next play because of that. Was that from last night?
Yep, because, of course, it slips right as them pushing it across. Jay Smalls, of course, hindsight is 20/20, but if you could go back in time, would you keep Justin Fields, who's obviously better than Caleb? Does Fields, yada, yada, yada.
How is he obviously better? Because he was better in week 1 of this year? Tell me what he's consistently better than Caleb at. And by the way, this is me saying Caleb may not end up being the guy. Seriously, what is he consistently better than Caleb? I would say he's probably a slightly better overall runner. He is not a better passer of the football, guys. Yes, he had a better week 1 throwing. Guys, like, I hate doing this because, A, I don't want to disparage Justin, and B, it's so far in the past it shouldn't even matter anymore, but, like I loved the Justin Fields pick too. No one rooted for him more than me, but, like, A, it's over, and B, he had 38 starts, won 10 of them, and time over time proved he was not a good enough passer of the football in the NFL. Doesn't mean there weren't random good games here and there. You had a few of those in Chicago. You got to do it week after week. And again, Caleb has not done that. But to act like Caleb's rookie year is much better than any full season Justin has had as a passer. That is just a fact. And Caleb's rookie year was not good enough in terms of what you're wanting him to be. So the fact that that's the case speaks a lot of volume. I try not to do when this stuff gets brought up. Obviously better than, like, that's crazy talk. Christian, Justin Fields is gone. It doesn't matter anymore, guys. Like, seriously. Like, I knew this was going to happen. when Justin had a good game, I was like, if Caleb struggles, they're going to bring it up. It's like, guys, he is 2 teams removed. 2 teams removed.
He got benched
He
for
got
Russell
benched for
Wilson.
Russell Wilson, who can't fucking play. Now, you could debate whether that was a good decision or not, but Justin looked better with less talent surrounding him 100%. When did he look better? That 4-game stretch in 2022 when he was running wild? Yes. He had a historic stretch running the football for a month in 2022. I agree. And then defenses figured it out and didn't let him do that anymore, made him throw the football, and he couldn't do it. So please, tell me. He won in an active tanking era. He went 10-28 as a starter. Like, what am I missing? Yeah, he had a decent win-loss stretch at the end of 2023, but then in the most important game against the Packers, he put 9 points on the board. Threw for like 130 yards or whatever it was. Like, I'm not trying to shit on Justin. I like Justin. I hope he wins a Super Bowl with the Jets, but like, it's just, I get it. This is natural because the Bears can't ever figure it out at quarterback. So it's natural to wonder, well, maybe if they kept him in year 6, he would have figured it out. It's like, guys don't get that long. Justin got 3 years. That's what normal core. Caleb may not even get that. And he's the number 1 pick.
There are quarterbacks that have gotten less than that.
Like
it's
Bryce Young got benched 20 games in as the number 1 pick. Now they went back to him, but like Anthony Richardson, number 4 pick, he started what, like 12 games? Like, this league will move on quick. Yeah, I said it at the time, I'll say it again. The timeline with Justin here and rebuilding the team, yeah, it wasn't the fairest shake, but he still had opportunities, man. Like, he still had opportunities. Jaden Daniels was the right pick. That's a conversation we can have. That's a conversation we can have. Through 18 games, there's no doubt Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. Anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Now we can debate if Jaden comes here, is he the same Jaden? Who the hell knows? That's like having the convo, well, if we kept Justin, this would have happened. There's no evidence of that because it didn't fucking happen. So.
You see, where'd it go?
I used to cover the Chiefs, Howard, but I haven't for multiple years now.
See Orlovsky.
What'd he say?
Quote his tweet. He quoted a tweet back from July. The July tweet says he has to erase a decade worth of playing a certain style of football and rebuild habits. And Orlovsky said it's going to take years for Caleb Williams to get the Bears offense going. He quote tweeted that an hour ago saying, Bears fans, he's crazy talented. It's game 1. It's going to take time. I know you think I'm a hater. It's just going to take time.
And that's going to be the question. How patient are the Bears? How much time do they give it? How much time do they give it? Mr. King, DJ Moore had his best year with Fields, and he has been disgruntled ever since. Allen Robinson had his best year with Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky force-fed Allen Robinson. Justin Fields force-fed DJ Moore. Like, yeah, DJ had his best year. What did all the other weapons? He could not hit Darnell Mooney ever. Open all the time, couldn't hit him. Mooney leaves, instantly has over 900 yards with Atlanta as a secondary receiver. Like, again, you guys are making me rip Justin here. I don't want to do that, but it's like, you know, narratives are narratives. That's at the end of the day, I guess. The funniest thing about the Field stuff too is like, he didn't even win the fucking game. I put up 32 points. He played awesome. I watched a lot of that game. Good for him. I hope it continues. But, like, no one gets more credit in games they lost than Justin Fields. Seriously. It is unbelievable. Is there a limit on Super Chat? YouTube caps at $500 per stream. I don't know why that is. We do offer Venmo and Cash App if people want to donate that way, but this guy's a Justin hater. I'm not. In fact, I probably was an over-lover while he was here. But
now that's a phrase.
But facts play out. seriously, I'm going to root for every quarterback that comes through here. And I want it to work. It didn't work. It's not working so far with Caleb. We'll see if it does. So far, it isn't. Golly, man. And I'm not telling you guys you're not entitled to your opinion, but when you're telling me he's obviously better than Caleb Williams, it's not even a Caleb Love thing. It's like the evidence tells us that's not true, is the point I'm making. And maybe year 5 and team 3 is where it works for Justin. We'll find out. We'll find out. All right. That is that. Let's get to some mailbag questions. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. I'm sure the Fields fans will come after me. Believe it, I'm a Fields fan too. I know people don't think that. I really like the guy. But, you got to be objective about these things at a certain point. All right, let's take your questions. Hashtag Bears Super Chat. Let's get it rolling. Yes, from Same Old Bears as we kick off this Bears Now mailbag. I'm Harrison Graham. He asks, Caleb Williams aside, what was the biggest positive and biggest negative in Week 1? Yeah, I saw this comment in the comment section, so I wanted to include it. I'll go one on the defense, one on the offense. I thought Dayo Odeyingbo was a positive. I thought he played well. I thought he was consistently driving back offensive linemen, denting the pocket, sacked JJ once, was close a couple other times, hit him a couple times. I thought he was good. I thought through one game he did his job. Now, he was lined up primarily against Justin Schools, so we'll see how he does against starting-level tackles in Detroit. 2 good ones there. But I thought for one game he earned his paycheck. And then Jonah Jackson really struggled. Graded out really poorly per PFF. In real time, it felt like he was the Bears' worst offensive lineman as well. That definitely was the case. Had 2 false starts also. Not a good Bears debut for Jonah Jackson. On the bright side, let's be positive here. What was your biggest positive from Week 1 against the Vikings? Because it wasn't all bad. At the end of the day, you lost by 3 points. It's not like you got blown out. Give me your biggest positive from the Bears in Week 1. All right, EPAL, hashtag Bears. Should have used Kyle instead of DJ and Swift a couple plays. I don't know why he didn't use him after they talked about how confident they are, and I didn't see Bird until the 4th. What is going on? Well, the Burden thing, he's your 4th receiver. I just don't think he's going to get a lot of snap share early in the year. So that's one. I agree on Monangai, though. One, Swift wasn't really getting it going. Why not just change of pace, try a different back, see if he can find more success? I don't mind that DJ got 3 carries. I expect DJ Moore to get some touches out of the backfield. They've made that clear up to this point. But Swift and Monangai were your only 2 healthy backs. You might as well give Monangai a look. He caught a pass for a first down. That was good to see. They used him in some pass pro situations. But I'd like to see him get some carries this week in Detroit. Mike Nintendo Master, will the Bears draft a left tackle or an edge rusher? We'll see. I mean, they certainly could end up needing both positions next season. We'll see how it plays out with Montez and Dayo this year. We'll see how Braxton plays. Obviously, is Ozzy Trapillo still their hopeful long-term plan at left tackle? Are they going to consider moving Darnell Wright to the left side and play Trapillo at right tackle next year? A lot of things have to play out, but those are 2 premium positions and 2 positions that the Bears could target in the draft a year from now. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Football is back and better than ever, and I'm firing off Prize Picks every single week. It's very easy to play Prize Picks, as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. That's right, certain lineups. $10 entries can net you $20,000. Prize Picks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. For Week 2, Prize Picks is offering a max discount on Travis Kelce of more than half a receiving yard. I've paired that with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's more than 41.5 rushing yards for Washington. $20 entry to win $60. Of note, those max discount plays, you can only use them in one lineup per account. So, you can't use the Travis Kelce on 6 different lineups. So choose carefully there. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's PrizePicks. It's good to be right. That link is in the comments and the description for you guys. Jay Smalls, your hate for Fields and obsession for Ben Johnson is insane. What has Ben Johnson done to make you such a fan? He had a good offense in Detroit. Whoop-de-doo. You make it seem like he is Belichick. He's a better coach than Belichick today, I'll tell you that. Belichick's a joke now. No bullshit. He's completely cooked. What makes me a fan is that he's been by far the best offense coordinator in the NFL for 3 years now for the Detroit Lions. I get it. They've acquired a lot of talent. It's the Detroit Lions. By the way, I know we're overreacting to one game. Did you see the Lions' offense in week 1? They were fucking awful. Hopefully they're bad again in week 2, because that's who the Bears play this week. I have no idea if Ben Johnson's going to be a high-level head coach, but I like what he's about. He's detail-oriented. He's a no-nonsense guy, and he has a proven track record for years now as an offensive play caller and designer. That's why I like him. Doesn't mean he's going to be a great head coach for the Bears, but that's why I like him. The Fields thing, I do not hate Fields. I don't know why people think this. I just thought it was time to move on because he had 3 years to prove he was the guy. He did not. He did not win a game of significance really at all. Went 10-28 as a starter and never threw for more than 2,500 yards in a season. Like, at some point, regardless of what's around you, and it got a little better around him every single year, he didn't progress enough. I hope he wins a Super Bowl for the Jets. He's a great guy, a great teammate, a great leader. I'm happy for the guy. But he didn't even win the first game that everybody's glazing him over. So I'm tired of talking about Justin Fields. I've said I'm retired from these conversations, but I knew they were going to return after he played well in week 1. And the Johnson thing is just like, sorry that we have a coach that has some accountability now, unlike the last guy. Pretty easy to like the new coach after your last coach was Matt fucking Eberflus. Posey Jones. Of course, I want Caleb to be the man, but looking at the one thing you can't teach is accuracy. For some reason, Caleb was not accurate like he was in college. I agree. I think you can teach mechanics and footwork that can increase accuracy. Josh Allen is really the only guy who was inaccurate in college that has become more accurate. That he's a rare case. That's why I'm confused here. Caleb was very accurate in college. So, like, that's why I'm so hopeful it can get back, because, like, this wasn't an issue for him at USC. Like, we can debate, can he process fast enough? Can he pick up NFL offenses? Can he do the verbiage? All that stuff, time will tell if he progresses enough in those areas. I do not understand the inaccuracy issues. I do not get it. Like, he was not inaccurate in college. Why is he inaccurate now? It does not make sense to me. Subscribe to the channel. If you never want to miss a video, hit that sub button, turn on notifications. We do these live mailbags every live show. Normally we go live Monday and Thursdays, but since the Bears played on Monday Night Football, we went live on Tuesday here. We will be live again on Thursday, then of course on Sunday for game day against the Detroit Lions. So rock and roll with us. We're pumping out content every single day. Jaden Grimm, first game in a new offense against one of the best defenses in the league. We should wait till next week to make judgments on Caleb. Ability to bounce back is more important than starting strong. Listen, if Caleb goes out and has a good game against Detroit and they win, everyone's going to feel a lot better. That's natural fan response, right? Play bad, sky is falling. Play good, we're back. So I think some patience is going to be required. If he lays another egg, people are going to be frustrated. I'm going to react to what I see to the best of my ability, like I always do. I thought it was about a C- performance in week 1. There was some good in there, but it wasn't nearly consistent enough. Harley Bance, where were the 2 tight end pass plays and Monungai between the tackles? They use 2 tight ends a lot. Ben Johnson did talk about this after the game. He was asked about why they didn't throw to the tight ends much. He said based on the opponent and the blitz packages that it was a big part of the game plan to use Kmet and Loveland as blockers, in pass pro specifically. So, that was part of the plan. It wasn't some, like, they had a plan to throw to them and they just didn't. So, you can agree or disagree with that plan. I understand it, especially with Braxton's struggles in camp, having extra protection to help against the blitz-heavy defense. So that was part of the game plan. We'll see if that changes against Detroit coming up this week. Speaking of which, who you got? Bears, Lions. Type CHI for the Bears, DET for the Lions. Who wins in week 2? Big game in the division. Both teams are 0-1, so the loser of this game really falls behind the 8 ball. Robert, did you read the report from a former Bears scout that Poles never really scouted another quarterback and focused strictly on Caleb? That wasn't new, though. That wasn't new. None of the other quarterbacks took top 30s to Chicago. We knew that at the time. It's tough because I was Team Caleb all the way. He's the guy I wanted to draft, so, like, I'm glad they drafted him. Obviously, so far, Jaden has proven to be the best QB in that class, and if you could have a do-over, you would take Jaden up to this point. But he was mostly the consensus number 1 guy. Like, I think if you polled all 32 teams saying, hey, who would you draft, I think 20-plus, if not 25-plus, would have said Caleb. But looking back at it, at minimum, you should have brought in more guys into your building. Even if you still land on Caleb, which they likely would have, that's completely fair criticism. Like, they should have brought in more guys and at least done their due diligence on, even if not all 6, like 2 other guys. Pick 2 guys you like their film on, bring them into your building, see if they impress you enough to make it a tougher decision between them and Caleb. And if they don't, then okay, you still have Caleb. But yeah, it's fair criticism. Adam White, in the grand scheme of things, if you ask me, this is all Ryan Poles' fault. Thoughts? I'd probably say, is it all George McCaskey's fault? I don't know. It just seems like regardless of who the GM is, regardless of who the coach is, regardless of who the quarterback is, regardless of who the players are, one thing remains the same. George McCaskey. Since he took over as chairman, 0 playoff wins. So I certainly think Poles deserves a lot of blame. You're 15-37 since he's been the GM, regardless of what the reasons are. He is in charge of putting the roster together. So, yeah, I don't think he's done a good enough job. Has it all been bad? I wouldn't say it's all been bad, but has it been good enough? No, it certainly has not. Appreciate all your questions, and appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button here on Chicago Bears Now, and we will continue to rock and roll with you. From Chummy, Fields greater than Harrison. No doubt. You're right. An NFL quarterback is a better quarterback than me. Listen, he's rich. He's in the NFL. I'm not rich. I'm not in the NFL. So I agree with you. Take that, Chummy. You probably thought I'd go off on you. I agree with you. Alex, I think I'm taking a break from football. Both college and pro, all my teams suck. Who's your college team, Alex? Let us know in the chat.
I know he's a Lakers fan. I'm not sure actually who his college team is.
Jay Smalls, we let a rookie quarterback. It's not a rookie. First start. Not a rookie, though. Has been in that system for a year. That should be pointed out. Swindle us in the fourth quarter. Let that sink in. Our one bright spot was a corner who you disliked and thought was not good enough. Bears may get 6 wins. Well, to be clear, my thing with Nashawn Wright has been he's been a career journeyman who has not played much at all, and when he has not played well. And all we heard was how he was great in training camp, and in the preseason games, he was objectively not good. And what was the first thing we saw in the first game? He did not turn his head around, and he drew a 42-yard pass interference. And then he had a pick 6, and I said, shout out Nashawn Wright. Prove me wrong, dude. I don't have agendas. I want all these guys to succeed. So that's that. But, yeah, I mean, look, to dominate JJ for 3 quarters and then let him pants you in the fourth, that's pretty brutal to take. That is pretty brutal to take. No question about it.
Alex is about to, he said Oregon State will get a super chat.
Oregon State. Yeah, they're just in a tough spot because they got left out of all the conference realignment. They were good with Jonathan Smith a couple years ago. Then he left for Michigan State. That's tough. Can you name Michigan State's or Oregon State's quarterback?
Right now, off the top of my head.
I'll say this. I think you'll know who it is. But I doubt – like, you'll know who the player is. You won't know that he's Oregon State's quarterback.
Okay.
But when I say it, you're going to be like, he's at Oregon State?
Here, I'm going to throw up Alex's super chat on screen. Again, not cheating. Looking straight into the camera. Um,
I'll give you a hint. This is his third school. I don't know if that helps at all.
you mentioned the.
It is in the chat. Alex mentioned them. Don't read it.
Don't look at it. Not looking. Did he used to play at Michigan State?
No.
Okay, then it's not who I'm thinking of, so you can tell me.
Malik Murphy.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. I literally was.
You know who he is, right?
No,
the Texas guy
I was watching,
who went to Duke and then Oregon State.
He was in the quad box of me watching the games this past Saturday, and I remember looking at him and be like, "Oh, hey, Malik Murphy." I did know that.
Mr. King says the bozo from UCLA. No, that's Dante Moore at Oregon, and he is not a bozo. Dante Moore can cook.
Alex, remind me next watch party or next live for that matter. That's a shot because I should have known that.
The Fields issues that you defended Fields every week, and then we had a chance at Caleb, and you jumped ship. The contract side of it, 100% the right move, but the kid got nothing given to him. He got 3 years of starts. Like, it was becoming clear by the end of that third year, too. And yes, guess what? Part of the factor is that the Bears did get the number 1 pick. I said at the time, if they had like the 10th pick, sure, keep Fields for another year. He's under contract. But when you get the number 1 pick in a good QB class, it makes sense to pivot when Fields hasn't shown enough. To say the kid got nothing, he got to start 38 games. I get, especially the first year, not much talent around, or the second year, not much talent around him. But, like, they traded for DJ Moore. Like, I know it didn't work out with Claypool, but they tried to bring him in. Like, they tried to bring him guys. Mooney's a good player, guys. Darnell Mooney can play. He had almost 1,000 yards last year with Kirk Cousins, who was playing like shit, and Michael Penix. Like, Cole Kmet's a good tight end. The O-line wasn't very good, and the coaching wasn't great. I will give you that. But, like, 38 starts in the NFL, man. Like, a lot of guys, we just pointed out guys who, like Anthony Richardson went number 4 overall, and he's played like 12 games, and they're out. I'm not saying it was a great situation. In fact, I don't think it was that good a one, but, like, you can't say he hasn't had an opportunity. First 2 years, he didn't have talent around him. So Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet are just nobodies. Allen Robinson was still there the first year. He was starting to fall off, but, like, he was on that team. New Harper says yes. So a guy who had 950 yards last year, total nobody in the NFL. I would encourage you guys in 2023 to go watch Justin Fields' pass attempts toward Darnell Mooney. The amount of missed throws toward Mooney was egregious. Egregious. David Montgomery was on the team. Like, I'm not saying he's a wide receiver 1. He's a good player. You said he had no talent around him. He had a fringe top 10 tight end in Cole Kmet. He had Darnell Mooney, a good wide receiver. His last year, they traded for DJ Moore. And you'll say, well, look at the numbers DJ put up with him. Yeah. Justin threw for 2,500 yards. 2,500 yards. It's fucking exhausting, bro. I'm honestly mad at myself that I've fallen into this trap again. All right. Appreciate you, Alex. We got one more segment to go. And then we are going to get out of here. I need to move. We're on to Detroit. I'm tired of talking about the week 1 issues. Yeah, I'm saying that as a negative, Eclectic. That's my point. It's like, everybody's like, look at what DJ did with Justin. It's like, yeah, but look at what Justin did. He threw for 2,500 yards. Like, that's nothing. So, again, rooting for him. I like him. Everyone thinks I don't because I have to push back when you guys act like he could have won an MVP or something. But, like, oh, Jesus. All right, we're going to take a look at the PFF grades from week 1, some standouts, some flops. Let's dive into it here. PFF grades have dropped from the Bears' Week 1 loss to the Vikings, and we're going to take a look at some standouts and some guys who struggled from the Bears season opener. This is Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Let's get to some standouts here. Darnell Wright. Obviously, when you say Darnell Wright, Week 1 against the Vikings, everyone's going to talk about that holding play, which was bullshit, which it was, and it changed the game, no question about it. But I thought Darnell Wright played a really good game. Graded out well. He was the highest graded offensive player, just under 78 overall. Pass protection was great. Did not allow a single pressure on, I think, 40-something pass plays. 2 penalties. One was a false start. The other one was the hold. So he really just had one because everyone knows that hold was garbage. That's really been his biggest bugaboo in his career is just the concentration lapses. He'll occasionally have a false start, and it's like, just clean that up. If he cleans that up and irons that type of stuff out, he has big time potential. I thought the second half of last year, he found a new gear, and I was like, okay, this feels like a fringe Pro Bowl guy now. I don't know if he can be an all-pro, but I think he's a damn good player. I really like Darnell Wright. He can move. He's big. He's powerful. When he gets his hands on you, it is tough to get around him. So I see a big jump coming this year, just like we saw a jump last year. So that was a positive sign. He more than held up on the right side. He was pretty dominant, especially considering the guy that played to his left, Jonah Jackson, did not have a very good game whatsoever. Subscribe to the channel. Bears content all year long, during the season, the off season, the dead parts of the calendar. It doesn't matter. We supply content every single day here on this channel. Usually we do at least 2 videos per day, sometimes more. And, occasionally we'll just get to 1. But content every single day, live shows, videos, short-form content. We do it all. Support the movement. Okay, Caleb Williams actually graded out pretty darn well via PFF. Here were his grades. He was the second highest overall graded player, 77.1. The passing at 67.9, so that's kind of average, which I think is fair. I think he was pretty mediocre as a passer. The running grade was really good, though, 86.1. They gave him 2 big-time throws. I'm not sure which 2 those were. I would guess the far hash throw to DJ was one of them, and then maybe one other one. Clearly one other one. I'm not sure which one it was. Time to throw, 3.39 seconds. He was holding the ball too long. The rushing performance clearly raised the grade. He was terrific as a runner. I mean, he had a couple scrambles where he's evading, he's getting out of there. The touchdown run was terrific. He reached 21 miles per hour, according to Next Gen Stats. He almost rushed another touchdown in late in the fourth quarter before throwing that TD to Rome. I thought as a runner, Caleb was really good. He looks a little faster, too, so I don't know if he's leaned out a little bit or not, but that was good to see. Obviously, we're all waiting for him to kind of become more consistent as a passer, but on the glass half full side of things, I thought as a runner, he was good. I thought he made some plays there, and maybe if you're Ben Johnson, you lean into those things a little bit more. Maybe even do some design, some zone reads, stuff like that, especially in the red zone. Okay, Nahshon Wright, and we are filming this Tuesday afternoon, so we don't know at this exact moment if his injury is serious or not. Hopefully it's not, but I got to give the credit where it's due. I was concerned about him playing in this game, and he played well. He had the bad penalty early, and that was like, oh boy, this could be a long game for him. But after that, he held up, and more so, he had a pick-6 touchdown that really gave the Bears control and should have been the reason they ran away with this game, and we all know what happened. They failed to do so, but he was good in coverage, thought he made some plays. Other than not getting his head turned around on that underthrown ball by J.J. McCarthy, even on that play, he had good coverage. He just didn't get his head turned around. So he showed me a lot. If he's healthy and Tyreek's healthy and Jalen's healthy, it'll be interesting to see who that second outside guy is. Maybe they rotate some with Tyreek and Nahshon. But when you make a play like that, that could change a game. That's the type of play that should win you a game. So it's unfortunate that the Bears did not win that game, but good for him. He had a great camp. In the preseason games, I did not think he played that well, but he showed up on Monday Night Football and against Justin Jefferson had a pick-6. So that speaks volumes to me. Who was the Bears' best player in Week 1? Let me know in the comment section below. Best player for the Bears in Week 1. Coming up next, we will get into some flops according to the PFF grades for the Bears against the Minnesota Vikings. But first, got to tell you about today's sponsor. That is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Football's back, and it's better than ever. Exciting week one. I'm firing off Prize Pick lineups every single week. College, the big boys, I am launching these lineups on Prize Picks. It's very easy to play. You just pick more or less on stat projections for 2 to 6 player lineups, minimum of 2 up to 6 players. If you get your lineup right, certain lineups you can win up to 2,000 times your money. That's right, $10 could turn into 20,000. Prize Picks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You could double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. For week 2, Prize Picks is offering a max discount. Travis Kelce more than half a receiving yard. I've paired that with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt more than 41.5 rushing yards. $20 entry to win $60. Of note, those max discount plays can only be used once per user, so you can't use Kelce on multiple lineups. So pick and choose carefully how you want to use it. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Okay, some PFF flops for the Bears in week 1. Jonah Jackson. It felt like in real time he was your worst offensive lineman, but it's hard to really gauge how individual linemen specifically are playing from snap to snap. But that certainly graded out to be the case, at least via PFF. 31 overall, that is dreadful. 22.6 pass block grade, that is unbelievably bad. I mean, if you're like sub 50, that's well below average. 22, I mean, that's bottom of the barrel. Run blocking still well below average. Gave up 5 pressures and had 2 false starts. It was a horrible performance. He was easily the worst offensive lineman, undisciplined with the penalties, getting beat consistently in pass pro, and that's with Darnell Wright locking it down on the other side. That's just not a good showing. And look, he's coming off a weird year where he was banged up. The Rams tried to kick him inside to center. He's played more left guard than right guard in his career. I get it, but it's like, come on, man, you're making $17 million a year here. Like, you got to be a well above average player, and you were well below average yesterday, so that's got to improve. If you look at the Bears' overall grades along the offensive line, Braxton Jones, 58.7. Joe Thuney, 58.9. He kind of got graded harshly in the run game. I thought he was fine. He was really good in pass pro. There were multiple clips of him, helping Braxton out. I think that's a little harsh there. Drew Dahlman, as expected, better in the run game than in pass pro. And then Darnell Wright obviously was graded out the best, and I think that's valid. I think he was your best offensive lineman last night. It felt like the most egregious pressures came against Jonah Jackson and Drew Dahlman. Dahlman got beat bad a couple of times too. Not the volume of times, but he did get beat pretty ugly once or twice. Andrew Billings. And, we've heard whispers of this may not be a great scheme fit for him. I thought he still showed some good things in the preseason. He's also coming off that injury. Graded out really poorly on 21 snaps, 34.3 overall. Run defense was dreadful. Passable as a pass rushing defensive tackle, but that's not really his job. He's there to eat up holes and be a run stuffer. Did not do that well at all. 0 recorded stats on 21 snaps. His role is to be a factor in the run game. And when Jordan Mason is kind of getting his groove and driving people back, that's where Andrew Billings has got to be a guy that changes that momentum, comes in and helps stuff the run, and that did not happen. So, scheme fit or not, like he's got to play a little bit better than what we saw last night. And then lastly, Dominique Robinson, who didn't play a ton. He played just 10 snaps. And with Dayo Odeyingbo playing well, it's not like they needed Dom Rob to be dominant or anything. But listen, when you're a rotation edge rusher, you get your 10 to 20 snaps. Like, you want to make those count. 0 pressures, 0 recorded stats. Did not leave an impact whatsoever. And I think what kind of double dips this in terms of a bad light for Dom Rob is Tano Passanio, who the Bears elevated off the practice squad, played 3 more snaps, 13, had 2 pressures on I think just 5 pass rush opportunities, and he had a sack as well. So off the practice squad, Tano played a lot better. And you wonder, is he going to be on the 53 at some point? Like, you can elevate these guys off the practice squad 3 times, so I would imagine they do it again this week. If he plays well again, I mean, and Dom Rob doesn't, you could see a little switcheroo there because Passanio, you need some rotation pass rushers to show up, and he showed up in week 1, and Dom Rob did not. Who is the Bears' worst player in week 1? Worst player on the team, regardless of PFF grades. Just what does the eye test tell you? Who was the worst player on the team? I would say it was probably either Jonah Jackson or, I wouldn't say Billings. I don't even remember seeing him out there that much. You need Jonah Jackson to be better, considering how much money he's making. So I'll say him. All right, there you have it, some PFF grades reaction. If you want us to do this video every week, we can. So give us your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on the way out. We will continue to pump out content every single day. My name is Harrison Graham. Bear down. Yes, more Justin talk. Crazy how everyone is crowning Justin Fields. Let's see where he's at the end of the season. Harrison, you do a great job of telling it like it is. We'll see if Caleb's resume will be better than Justin each year. Year 1 for both. Caleb 1, Justin 0. Well, not only year 1, Caleb's year 1 was better than any of the 3 Justin had here. And again, I don't even think Caleb's was that good. Like, this isn't about hyping up Caleb Williams, but like, y'all act like Justin didn't have any opportunities here. I'm not saying it's the greatest opportunity of all time, but he got to start 38 games. John Taylor, people giving you flack don't know why I love your show. I'm giving Caleb to the bye week, but need to fix inaccuracy. Listen, the chat's entitled to give their opinion on whatever they want, and especially if you send super chats, like, we're gonna put those on screen and have a conversation. I'm not gonna try to get into a season-long Justin Fields debate. That's not what I want to do. But when people do donate, we want to honor that. And I want to make it clear, you guys can like who you want. If you think Justin Fields is better, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But I'm damn sure entitled to mine. And that doesn't make me a hater either. I have always liked the guy. I loved him at Ohio State. I liked him here. I think under different circumstances, it could have gone better. But it didn't, and he has to take accountability for a lot of that as well. That's life in the NFL, man. Maybe now he's in the perfect situation. Time will tell. For one game, it looked really good.
Yeah.
So,
overreaction Tuesday for us here.
There will probably be a lot more, except on Mondays. All right. Appreciate you guys for hanging out today.
I brought it again today, man.
And I need a break, so I'm going to sign off. Shout out to the real ones. Appreciate Colin for being on the 1s and 2s. We will see you guys tomorrow with more videos, and then obviously Thursday we will be back live. So hit that sub button. We'll see you soon. Bear down.